My child, pause here. Do not scroll past your own appointment. Breathe. You have 6 minutes, and 6 minutes is enough for heaven to reroute a decade. Hear me. The vault of 950 million in divine blessing is opening with your name etched on the seal. Do not argue with how. Agree with who. You have asked for proof, but the proof is already moving toward you in quiet lines. An email you have not opened yet, a name you will hear twice today, a door that did not budge last month, but will ease under your hand before 9 o'clock tonight. Look for the signs. They are not random. They are rehearsals of fulfillment. If you feel this does not belong to you, you may go. Those who stay, few as they are, will taste a quiet triumph that does not shout in public, but settles like a crown in the soul. Stay and listen. You have measured your life by what leaked, but I have measured it by what remained, multiplied and compounded in secret. Every time you blessed instead of bittered, you deposited into a ledger you could not see. Gratitude was never polite manners. It was capital. When you whispered thank you with rent due and pride stung, you were underwriting tomorrow's overflow. When you shared a small portion with another, time, a word, a meal, you were buying equity in a future only faith could appraise. Child, gratitude is not a response to abundance. Gratitude manufactures abundance. It turns a single seed into a field with harvests stacked into years. You kept saying, when it happens, then I will be grateful. But heaven keeps telling you, be grateful, and then it happens. Reverse the order and you reverse the flow. This is why I call you now, before 9 o'clock tonight. Because windows are not walls. They open, they close. I am not threatening you. I am training you. Urgency is a tutor that teaches you to treat moments like keys, not souvenirs. Watch how the signs align by 2s and 3s. The number 950 surfacing where you least expect it. The conversation that circles back. The message that lands exactly when you say, I trust you. These are not coincidences. They are coordinates. Trace them. If you do, you will step into intersections designed for transfer. What others call luck is merely you standing where I told you, when I told you. Obedience is the shortest road between prayer and provision. Some will shrug and scroll, waiting for a louder miracle. But your miracle has learned to move softly, so it will only be heard by those who lean in. Lean in. I am teaching you the wealth technology of stillness. Be still enough to notice the nudge. Be swift enough to respond. Look for the signs is not superstition, it is stewardship. The kingdom speaks in patterns, repeated names, aligned timings, inexplicable favor, peace that arrives before the paperwork. When peace arrives first, paperwork must follow. Let peace lead. Now hear this decree as if it were thunder that knows your address. 950 million is released to your stewardship, measured not only in currency, but in contracts, cancellations of debt, restored time, repaired reputation, inventions remembered, introductions made, land reclaimed, and ideas that sleep inside you, waking up with full-grown strength. You have called it a dream. I call it deliverables. You will not chase. You will be found. You will not beg. You will be invited. And when the door opens, gratitude will keep it open. Ingratitude slams doors from the inside. Where are you watching from? Right the ground you stand on. Name it a field. When you mark a place with expectation, you consecrate it as a staging area for answers. And type Amen if your spirit knows this is your hour. Not because a comment feeds an algorithm, but because your agreement feeds your future. Every agreement is a signature. Every signature authorizes a transfer. You have signed for other people's packages long enough. Today, sign for your own. You ask, why me? Because you stayed kind when cynicism felt smarter, because you tithed honor in rooms that paid you with silence, because you kept learning when it looked too late to start. I saw you. Kindness is never a side quest. It is the main road. The generous soul gets generational results. And I am not paying you back. I am paying you forward. What arrives to you will arrive through you. The flow is your safety. When money moves, fear starves. This is the moment to reorder your inner market. Stop pricing your calling with other people's doubts. Stop discounting what I have premium stamped. Lift your head. Say out loud, I welcome what heaven wired to my name. This is not hype. This is a handover. Exactly as the clock edges toward night, you will sense the shift. A message answered, a meeting confirmed, a mind clearing, a burden lifting, a number aligning. Before 9 o'clock, I will give you a token, small enough to ignore, holy enough to know. Do not ignore it. Receive it with gratitude, and gratitude will multiply it while you sleep. Now, let me speak to what you have carried in silence. I see the nights you could not sleep because worry wrapped around your chest like iron chains. I see the mornings you woke with dread before your feet touched the floor, already exhausted by the weight of what you must carry through the day. I see the bills stacked on your counter that you stopped opening because the numbers felt like accusations. I see the shame that burns when your card declines at the register while strangers watch. I see the exhaustion from working 2 jobs and still coming up short every month. I see the quiet humiliation when your child asks for something simple and you have to say, not right now, knowing they have heard that answer too many times.
I see the tears you cry in your car before you walk into work with a manufactured smile. I see the weight you carry, pretending everything is fine when you are barely holding on by a thread. None of it was invisible. None of it was wasted. Every tear collected in bottles. Every silent prayer recorded in books. Every act of faithfulness when no one was watching, written in ledgers of heaven. You thought the delay meant I forgot you. You thought the silence meant I stopped caring. You thought the struggle meant I was punishing you for something you did wrong. But beloved, the delay was never denial. It was divine design. I was not withholding from you. I was developing capacity within you. If I had released the 950 million 3 years ago, it would have crushed you. Your character could not carry that weight. Your wisdom could not manage that responsibility. Your faith could not steward that influence. But every season of scarcity taught you resourcefulness. Every month of stretching a dollar until it screamed taught you stewardship. Every moment of trusting me when your bank account said zero taught you faith that money cannot buy. I was laying foundation strong enough to hold the structure I am about to build. Let me show you how this works in my word. Do you remember Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers at 17, falsely accused of assault and thrown into prison, forgotten by the cupbearer he helped? Years of injustice, betrayal, abandonment. But Joseph never cursed me. He served faithfully in every season. In Potiphar's house, he was faithful. In prison, he was faithful. And when Pharaoh called him from the dungeon to interpret dreams, Joseph was ready. Not just ready with words, but ready with wisdom, strategy, character, and humility. Within a single day, Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister. Why? Because the delay developed him. The prison refined him. The waiting prepared him. And when the door opened, he did not just step into favor. He stepped into the assignment that would save nations. So it is with you, beloved. You have been in your prison season. You have sat in dungeons of delay, wondering why. You have been faithful when it made no sense, when no one was watching, when the reward felt impossibly distant. But you did not curse me. You held on when letting go would have been easier. You praised when complaining would have been justified. You gave when hoarding would have made sense. And now I am about to open the door. But I am not just giving you favor. I am giving you the assignment that your faithfulness prepared you to carry. The 950 million is not just wealth. It is authority. It is access. It is the resources required to fulfill the purpose I wrote in your DNA before you were born. Let me give you another example. Do you remember David, anointed king as a teenager by the prophet Samuel? Oil poured on his head in front of his brothers. But then what happened? He went back to the sheep, back to the wilderness, back to the monotony. Years passed. Saul hunted him. Armies chased him. He lived in cave. He led a ragtag band of outcasts. He could have grown bitter. He could have said, God, you lied to me. You said I would be king, but I am hiding like a fugitive. But David did not say that. He worshipped in the cave. He wrote psalms in the wilderness. He honored Saul even when Saul tried to kill him. And when the throne was finally his, he ruled with humility, worship, and dependence on me. Why? Because the wilderness developed his character. The cave taught him to trust me when there was no visible evidence. The delay refined him into a king worth following. So it is with you. You have been in your wilderness. You have been in your cave. You have wondered why the promise is taking so long. But I have been training you the entire time. Every hard season taught you something money could not buy. Humility, endurance, dependence, worship in the dark. And now, beloved, the throne is ready. Not a literal throne, but the seat of influence I designed you to occupy. The 950 million is not random. It is recognition that you can be trusted with power because you learned humility in powerlessness. Now let me tell you what is happening in the spiritual realm as you listen to my voice. Angels are being dispatched. Michael, your assigned warring angel, has drawn his sword and is cutting through every demonic delay, every satanic assignment, every generational curse that has been blocking your financial breakthrough. Gabriel, the messenger angel, is carrying decrees to key people in your life, people you have never met, people who hold keys to doors you need open, employers, investors, partners, clients. They are suddenly thinking about you. They will reach out unexpectedly. They will say yes to opportunities they were going to decline. Why? Because heaven is orchestrating your breakthrough. Ministering angels are going before you right now, making crooked paths straight, removing obstacles you do not even see yet, opening doors you stopped knocking on, resurrecting opportunities you gave up on. Warring angels are engaging in battle on your behalf, dismantling strongholds, breaking yokes, canceling contracts signed against your bloodline generations ago. And right now, as you listen, the atmosphere around you is shifting. The heaviness is lifting. The fog is clearing. The confusion is breaking. Peace is returning. Hope is rising. Faith is strengthening, because this is not just a word, this is a decree. And when heaven decrees something, hell has to respond. The 950 million is not just financial, beloved. It is total restoration. When I release wealth, I also release health, peace, joy, clarity, purpose, relationships, and influence. Because wealth without health is misery. You cannot enjoy provision if your body is broken. Wealth without peace is torment. You cannot rest in abundance if your mind is anxious. Wealth without purpose is emptiness. You cannot find fulfillment in riches if you have no reason to wake up. But wealth combined with health, peace, joy, purpose, and kingdom vision, that is abundance. That is overflow. That is the life I came to give you. Life, and life more abundantly. Not just more money, more life, more peace, more joy, more impact, more meaning. And that is exactly what I am releasing over you right now. Let me tell you a story that just happened last month. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This is testimony. There was a woman in Florida, single mother, 2 children, behind on rent, car barely running, credit cards maxed out, She was sitting in her living room at midnight after her kids went to bed, scrolling through her phone, exhausted from working 2 jobs and still not making enough to get ahead. She was ready to give up, ready to file bankruptcy, ready to walk away from everything. And she came across one of these messages. At first, she almost scrolled past it. She thought, I have heard this before. I have believed before. Nothing changes for me. But something stopped her finger from swiping. A still small voice inside said, listen one more time. Give me one more chance. So she did. She listened to the entire message with tears streaming down her face. And when I said type 777, she obeyed. She did not fully understand all the theology. She did not have all her questions answered. She just obeyed out of desperation, out of a tiny seed of hope buried under mountains of disappointment. Within 36 hours, she received a phone call from a company she had interviewed with 4 months earlier. They said the position had reopened unexpectedly and they wanted her. The salary was triple what she was making, full benefits, sign-on bonus. Then, 2 days later, her landlord called. He said he was selling the property and offering her first option to buy at below market value with owner financing. Then, her ex-husband, who had not paid child support in 3 years, called and said he got a new job and wanted to start paying again. She sat in her car and could not stop crying. She called it a miracle. I call it covenant activation. Because when you align your faith with my voice, when you say yes, even when everything says no, when you type 777 as an act of obedience and not obligation, I align my resources with your availability.
So here is what I need you to. 3 action steps. First, steward what you have right now. Do not wait for the 950 million to show up before you start acting like a good steward. Clean up your finances today. Face the numbers you have been avoiding. Open the bills. Log in to the accounts. Write down your income and expenses. Track where your money is actually going. Most people have no idea where their money disappears to. You cannot steward what you do not track. So measure it, face it, own it, then make a plan. Cut the subscriptions you do not use. Stop eating out when you could cook at home. Stop buying things you do not need with money you do not have. Stewardship is discipline. It is delayed gratification. It is choosing long-term legacy over short-term comfort. Second, sow something as a seed of agreement with this decree. Faith without works is dead. Sow into a ministry feeding the hungry. Sow into a church making a difference. Sow into this ministry if this word impacted you. Do not sow to manipulate God. Sow to align with God. Third action step, prepare space. Mentally, spiritually, practically, emotionally. Start acting like someone who is about to manage 950 million in kingdom assignments. This is not arrogance, this is preparation, this is wisdom. You prepare the vessel before the oil flows. You build the barn before the harvest comes. You dig the well before the rain falls. So start preparing now. Mentally, expand your thinking. Stop thinking survival. Stop thinking just enough to get by. Start thinking generational wealth. Start thinking kingdom impact. Start thinking nations. Start thinking legacy that outlives you and impacts people you will never meet. Read books on financial stewardship and biblical wealth building. Listen to podcasts about building businesses with integrity and kingdom purpose. Get around people who think bigger than your current situation. People who challenge your small thinking, stretch your faith, and refuse to let you settle for mediocrity. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you are spending time with broke people who have poverty mindsets and victim mentalities, you will stay broke. But if you get around people who are building, creating, solving problems, making impact, and walking in their purpose, you will rise to that level. Association determines destination. Spiritually, start praying different. Stop praying survival prayer. Stop praying, God help me make it through this month. That is poverty prayer. Start praying kingdom prayers. Start praying, God give me strategy to build generational wealth that honors you and funds your mission for decades. Start praying, God position me to cancel debts for single mothers, fund scholarships for orphans, build schools, plant churches, send missionaries, and finance kingdom advancement.
The moment you shift your prayers, I shift my response. Now, beloved, we are at the most critical moment. This is where you seal everything you have heard. This is where you move from hearing to doing, from believing to receiving. And I need you to stay focused, because the enemy will try to distract you right now. He will try to make you scroll away. He will try to whisper, "You have heard enough." But the closing is where the covenant is sealed. The closing is where the transfer is activated. So do not leave yet. Stay with me for these final moments. Here is what I need you to do. 3 final actions that will seal this decree over your life. First, go to the comments right now and type 777 one more time. When you type 777 at the end of this message, you are saying, "I heard the whole word. I received the whole revelation. I am in full agreement with the whole decree." You are sealing what has been spoken. You are locking in what has been released. So go now and type 777. Then add these words. Type, "I received the 950 million decree of blessing. I am a steward, not a hoarder. I am a revser, not a reservoir. I will use everything God gives me to advance His kingdom." Let your words become a legal document in the courts of heaven. Second, subscribe to this channel if you have not already. Hit that subscribe button right now. Why? Because this channel is not about entertainment. It is about activation. It is about breakthrough. And when you subscribe, you position yourself to receive more words like this, more decrees that will fuel your faith and accelerate your progress.
You are also helping this message reach someone else who is desperate, someone who is about to give up, someone who needs to hear that God has not forgotten them. So subscribe now, then hit the like button. Give this video a thumbs up, because the algorithm will push this to more people, and your like could be the reason someone sees this at the exact moment they need it most. Third, share this video with 3 people. Not next week, not when you remember. Right now. Think of 3 people who need this word. 3 people struggling financially. 3 people believing for breakthrough. 3 people who have been faithful but are tired of waiting. Send them this video. Text it, post it, email it, because when you share this message, you become a carrier of the decree, and carriers always receive first access to what they carry. That is kingdom law. What you make room for in others, I make room for you. Now, before I close, I want to pray a blessing over you. Close your eyes. Put your hand on your heart. Feel my presence surrounding you like a warm embrace. I'm wrapping you in peace that surpasses understanding. Every anxious thought is being silenced. Every fearful imagination is being dismantled. Every lie the enemy whispered is being evicted and replaced with truth. You are not going back to the wilderness. That season is over. You are stepping into the promised land, the land of abundance and overflow. In the mighty name of Jesus, I seal this word over your life. I activate this decree. I release this blessing. The transfer is complete. The vault is open. The flow has begun. It is done. It is finished. It is sealed in the courts of heaven. Angels are moving. Michael has cut through every delay. Gabriel has delivered the message. And you, my beloved child, are walking into the greatest season of blessing, favor, increase, multiplication, and supernatural abundance you have ever known. Now go and watch me work. Amen.